Yeah, welcome. In this lecture, we will discuss properties of determinant, and this is a subtopic of chapter determinant, and we will be doing some questions based on these properties. First of all, let's take property number one. You can see here this is a determinant in which this third row is 0. Actually, all the elements of third row are 0. So this property says when any row or a particular column of a determinant is 0, or all the elements of a particular row or column is 0, then the value of determinant will be 0. So without expanding, we can write that the value of determinant is 0, because in first case third row is 0, whereas in second case second column is 0. So in both cases the value of determinant will be 0. Now come to property number second. Second property says in a determinant, if any two rows or two columns are identical, then the value of determinant will be 0. You can see here first row and second row both are identical or same. In the same way, first column and this third column both are same. So therefore in both cases the value of determinant will be 0. Now come to the third property. One determinant is ABC, D, E, F, G, H, I. This property tells us when we interchange any row or any column, minus sign will comes. Means you can see this first row ABC is replacing the second row, and the second row is coming to the first row. Now you can see this ABC will become second and this DEF will become first. So therefore minus sign will come. Again you can see this ABC will be at third row position and third row will become second row. So again one minus will come and this will become third and this will become second. So one more minus will come. So finally minus and minus will be plus. Suppose this yes, this is minus minus plus. Now you can see here this second row will become first and first will become second. Again one minus will come, and finally when this GHI becomes second and this second will become first, again one minus will come. So finally minus and minus will be plus. So whenever there is exchange of any adjacent row or column, minus sign will come. I am talking about adjacent, but please note, if you directly observe, if we want to replace this first row ABC to the position of third row, then we are jumping actually two rows. So direct formula you can write that the value of determinant is minus 1 to the power n into delta, means original determinant, where n is the number of rows or columns jump, right? I mean this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I can be written as this first row will become third and these second and third will shift this side and this will become first and second. So directly you can write that this delta dash is equal to minus 1 to the power 2 into delta. Okay. Now come to the fourth property. Fourth property says when a determinant is represented by delta and if we are multiplying this determinant by a factor k, so this factor will be multiplied in any of the column. Means first case में we can multiply it in the first column, or you can multiply it with second column, or this k can be multiplied with the first row also. So you are free to multiply in any row or in any column. Whereas if you remember, in case of matrices, we were multiplying a particular constant with all the numbers. But here, either you multiply with any row or with any column. Both conditions are correct. Now you can see property number 5 here in this determinant. This first row is written in the form of sum of two elements, a plus a dash, b plus b dash, and c plus c dash. So this property says we can split this determinant into two determinants, in which the second row and third row will be same in both cases, but this first row, you can see if we are taking first elements a, b and c, so this is a single row, whereas a dash, b dash and c dash will be here in the form of first row. Means a given determinant can be split into the sum of two determinant. Okay, so how we are splitting, you must remember, those rows are same, will be common in both determinant, only these first elements will form a single row and these second elements will form a single row. This property 6 says, in a particular determinant, if we are applying these properties like Ri is Ri plus Krj or Ci is Ci plus Kcj, the value of determinant will be same. Like in this determinant, I am applying a property R1 is equal to R1 plus Kr2. Means we are multiplying row number 2 by k and we are adding with R1. So I am writing in place of R1, I am writing a plus kd, b plus ke, c plus kf. So here the value of determinant is unchanged. Now take some problem based on these properties one by one. First problem says there's a determinant and without expansion we have to prove that the value of determinant is 0. First method is that we can expand the determinant along any row or any column, we will get the value. But here one restriction is there, that don't expand. So we have to use the property. So the given determinant is 102, 18, 36, 134 and 17, 3, 6. Now you must think that how we will make it 0. So one property says that when any row or column of a determinant are identical with any other row, or any two rows or columns are identical, then the value of determinant is 0. So our plan is to make two rows same. So how we will make these rows or columns same? So do one thing, from row number 1 we can take 6 as a common. So when we are taking 6 as a common, we will get 17, 3 and 6. Now you can observe first row and third row are identical, therefore the value of determinant will be 0 by the property. So finally it will be 0. One more method is there. In this determinant you multiply and divide by 6, okay, because it will be balanced, and this 6 will be multiplied with the third row, so this will become 102, 18 and 36. Again you can observe row number 1 and row number 3 are identical, that's why the value of determinant is 0. Now question 3, without expanding at any stage, find the value of the determinant. how we will find the value of determinant? Restriction is that don't expand it. So do one thing, try to take some common value from any row or column. So you can see this is y plus z, this is x, this is x plus z, this is y. When we add these elements, we will get x plus y plus z. So now do one thing, we can write C2 is equal to C2 plus C3. So I am applying C2 is equal to C2 plus C3. So C1 will be same. This will become x plus y plus z, y plus x plus z. Third one is z plus x plus y. And this C3 will remain same. Now you can see this is x plus y plus z, x plus y plus z and x plus y plus z. We can take it common. So here we will get 1, 1, 1. And from column number 1, take out 2 as a common. So we will get 1, 1, 1. Now you can observe column number 1 and 2 are identical. So therefore it will become 0. Similar case is here. Using properties, prove that the value of determinant is 0. Means we have to use only property, not expansion. So now take this determinant, multiply these elements. This is AB plus AC. Similarly, BC plus AB and CA plus CB. Now do one thing. Again, our plan is to take out some common. Now you can observe this is AB plus AC plus BC. Similarly, BC plus BA plus CA. So do one thing, write C3 is equal to C3 plus C2. So in place of C3, I am writing AB plus AC plus BC. Similarly, BC plus BA plus CA and CA plus CB plus AB. And this is nothing but AB plus BC plus CA. So take it common. So here we will get 1, 1, 1 and here we will get 1, 1, 1. This column number 2 will remain same and these two columns are identical, that C1 and C3 are identical. So therefore the value of determinant will be 0. Yeah, next problem. Without expanding, find the value of this delta. Now I am going to apply here one property because this second row is written in the form of sum of two elements. So we can separate it. So I will split this determinant into sum of two determinant. Now you can see this first row and third row are identical in both cases. First write A, B, C here, A, B, C, and then write 2x, 2y, 2z here. Okay. Now you can observe in this determinant row number 1 and row number 2 are identical, therefore it will be 0. And from second determinant take out 2 common. So you will get x, y, z. Again in this case R2 and R3 are identical, therefore it will be 0. So the final value of determinant will be 0. Now question number 5, evaluate the determinant using properties. It seems to be very lengthy question, but it is easy. You just expand it, a plus b whole square. A square, because a to the power x whole square means a to the power x whole square plus a to the power minus x whole square plus 2a to the power x into a to the power minus x. So I am expanding a plus b whole square. A square plus b square plus 2 into a into b. So laws of exponent says this 2 will be multiplied. So I will write a to the power 2x, a to the power minus 2x plus this 2a to the power x into 1 upon a to the power x cancel. So finally I am writing this. So therefore easily we can expand all the values. So this is written in the form of a to the power 2x, a to the power minus 2x plus 2. Similarly for y and similarly for z. Same case is here, but we will write only minus this 1. Again our plan is to take something common. Now you can observe these two terms are everywhere is same. So do one thing, apply C1 is equal to C1 minus C2. So when we subtract this from this, both will cancel and this 2 minus and minus will become plus. So 2 to 4. So everywhere we will get 4. This will remain same. This is 1. Now take out 4 common. So you will get 1. Now you can observe column number 1 and column number 3 are identical. So therefore the value of determinant will be 0. Yeah, take this question. This is so interesting. Now A1, A2, A3 and AR, these numbers are in GP, and we have to prove that the value of this determinant is independent of R. Means after expansion or after using the property, we must get a result which should be free from R. Now focus on one thing. This is AR plus 1. It means I am talking about R plus 1th term. Okay, because A1 is first term, A2 is second term, AR is rth term. So therefore R plus 1 means AR plus 1th term. Similarly R plus 11 means AR plus 11th term. Okay, so now suppose that this AR be the nth term of the GP, and assume that the common ratio of this GP is capital R, and we already know that nth term is AR to the power n minus 1, formula of nth term of a GP. So I am talking about rth term. So similarly we can write AR is equal to A means first term, so first term is A1. So AR is equal to AR to the power n minus 1, but here I am assuming R, so this will be R. If I am writing AN, so it will be n minus 1. So this AR can be written as A1 R to the power R minus 1. So similarly this AR plus 1 can be written as, you just replace R by R plus 1. So everywhere here it will become R plus 1. So it will become A1 R to the power R. Means if you observe, for a particular term you just subtract 1 and write the power of R. So this AR plus 1 can be written as A1 R to the power R. AR plus 7 can be written as A1 R to the power. Subtract 1, you will get R plus 6, this power R plus 6. Similarly, AR plus 11 term will be A1 R to the power R plus 10. So everywhere you subtract 1 and apply the power of R. So these terms can be replaced in the form of A1 and R by using formula that AN is equal to AR to the power n minus 1. Now you can observe one thing from row number 1, take A1 common. Similarly from row 2 and row 3 take out A common. So this A1 into A1 into A1 will become A1 cube. Similar case here, the lowest power is R to the power R, R to the power R, R to the power R. So when we take R to the power R common, we will get 1 R to the power 4, because this can be written as R to the power R into R to the power 4. R to the power R plus 4 can be written as R to the power R into R to the power 4. Okay, so all R to the power R are outside. So you will get 1 R to the power 4, R to the power 8. Similarly, A1 is already taken out and R plus 6 is taken out. Now from row number 2 I am taking R plus 6 common. So here it will be 1 and it will become, it is 10, so it will be R4, and 14 minus 6 it will be R to the power 8. See, the lowest power is R to the power R plus 10. So take R plus 10 common, you will get 1. 16 minus 10 6 and 20 minus 10 10. Now you can observe this row number 1 and row number 2 are identical. So therefore whole product will become 0, and now we can observe that here is small r is not present. So we can say that the given determinant is independent of R when these are represented by the terms of GP. Let take new problem. A, B, C are the pth, qth and rth term of a GP. Then you have to prove that the value of determinant is 0. So our first plan is to replace this log A, log B and log C. Then we will only get some result. So now we know that AP is R means pth term is, sorry, AP is A, pth term is A, qth term is B and rth term is C. So now we know that nth term can be written as A r to the power n minus 1, where A is the first term of GP and R is the common ratio. So similarly, pth term can be written as A r to the power P minus 1, but its value is A, it is given. Similar case is for qth term. Qth term can be written as A r to the power Q minus 1, which is equal to B, and rth term can be written as A r to the power R minus 1, and which is equal to C. Now take both side log. So this will become log of this is equal to log of A. Apply the property of log m into n, product of two number. So this will be log A plus log B, and this power, when it is written log m to the power n, so this power will become the product. So I can write log A is equal to log capital A plus P minus 1 log R. Similarly, log B can be written as and log C. Now put the values of log A, log B, log C in the given determinant. Now you can observe column number 1 is written in the form of sum of two number. So split this determinant into two determinant. One column will be log A, log A, log A. Rest two columns are same, and second columns will be P minus 1 log R, Q minus 1 log R, R minus 1 log R, PQR, PQR. Now take out log A common, so it will be 1 1 1 and here 1 1 1, both are similar, and take out log R common, you will get P minus 1 Q minus 1 R minus 1. So this will become 0, take log R. Now next plan is to make any column equal to 1 so that it will become 0. So for this you do one thing, you apply C2 is equal to C2 minus C1. So when we subtract P minus 1, we will get 1. So I am applying C2 is equal to C2 minus C1. So this will remain same, this will become 1 1. Again both are identical, so it will be 0. So finally this determinant is 0 when A, B, C are the pth, qth and rth term of a GP. You take last problem. Without expanding, prove that both determinants are equal. For this, take left hand side, and if you observe, both determinants are almost same, but there is a difference in row number 3. Means in third row we require A square, B square, C square, but in this determinant there is no term of A square, B square, C square. We have to do some modification. You multiply and divide by ABC. Okay, why I am doing? Our plan is to make these elements same. Means we want to make it ABC, ABC and ABC. So for this we have to multiply it by A. So I am multiplying and dividing by ABC, ABC. Now 1 by ABC you keep same, and this A you multiply with column number 1. So this will become A square AB, see. Similarly this B can be multiplied with column number 2, B square BAC or ABC. Similarly C can be multiplied with column number C. Now interesting thing is that from row number 3 take out ABC common. So here we will get 1. This is cancelled. Now you must remember a property. We want to make it in this form. So in this determinant, this 1 1 1 is in the place of first row. So when we jump this third row in place of first row, means we are jumping 2 rows. So I will write minus 1 to the power 2, and this 1 can be written as here 1 1 1, and this ABC and A square C square will shift downward. So finally we are getting 1 1 1 ABC A square B square C square. I hope it is clear. In next video I will take more questions will be based on type 2 where we have to apply more properties.